Okay, please state your name and your title.
Tom Smith.
And what title do you want to go by now?
Title, I'm a research geophysicist.
Good, okay.
Never to retire.
And so I'm asking the beginning question for people, for our audience on social media who may not know your connection. So what is your connection to SEG?
I've been a member of SEG for over 55 years, and I've got the white hair to prove it. And the only reason to be interviewed at all is to try to come up with something that might be valuable to the under 25 people. They're the only ones that are going to, look at these clips and things like that. And so I would think the reason for longevity is because of just the professionalism and the love of science, and specifically, it's the love of applied geophysics. I said applied geophysics. I didn't say geophysics, because there's solid earth geophysics, and that's different. They're good people, but that's not us. That's the Seismological Society of America, the SSA. We're the SEG, and an important distinction. We're the people that work real hard at collecting the seismic data, processing the seismic data, and interpreting the seismic data. And it's the thrill of the hunt that makes it all worthwhile. And that's why I've been around for 55 years. And I've sort of drifted into the research. I kind of like that.
In one word, how would you describe the foundation?
Well, I will be honest first, and I will say integrity, but the fun one-word description would be money grubbing, because they're the money arm of the SEG, and a lot of people have difficulty contributing money directly to a professional organization, and well, they should, because administration changes. Maybe the president is only good for 1 year. And he could have a wonderful trip to Cancun, Mexico, or something or other with your money. So the foundation is a very important buffer between the giver and where the money's going to go, and that's a very important job.
Yeah, it is. Can you share an experience you've had through your involvement with the SEG Foundation?
Well, there's numerous ones. I think I'm just going to have to pass on that one, but let me just add that it's a wonderful adventure. If you get into the SEG as a professional membership, you have it some value. You can have a wonderful ride and never get involved in any volunteer activities, but you're going to make a big mistake if you don't get involved. Now, we all can be physics nerds, we can be geology nerds, we can be mathematics nerds, we can be all kinds of nerds. But the important thing here is communication. The bottom line is this is an applied science, and the applied science means is that there is some reason that we're doing what we're doing. Collecting a 3D survey is a very expensive proposition, highly valuable, and it's the best way to interpolate between our drilling wells. So because of that, it's a wonderful opportunity for you to network and to rub shoulders with the old coots that have white hair, and also rub shoulders with friends that may work at different companies or maybe the same company. And you'd never know it without networking.
And how has your involvement with the foundation impacted you professionally?
I'll tell you a little secret. Years ago, my wife and I formed a little company. And it was a mom and pop company, strictly focused on seismic interpretation, and it was involved with interpreting on PCs. And it grew, it was successful, and as it grew, and we needed to add more technology. I couldn't write everything. I wrote maybe the nucleus, but I couldn't write everything. And as it grew, we brought in experts, and one of the persons that I consider one of the top people of the previous generation from me. The fellow's name was Dr. Turi Tanner. So one of the highlights of my professional career was my wife and I thought about it, and we needed some seismic attributes, and we needed to have the code. I didn't have the code, but Dr. Tanner had the code. And he had his little company called Rock Solid. And one of the highlights of my professional career was I handed a check to Turi Tanner for $1 million for a copy of that software. That was something. And I found out later, chatting with Turi, I found out that no longer, or right after the cameras turned off, the CEO of the company grabbed that check and says, "Turi, we're going to deposit that thing right now."
That's neat. That's a great story. So was he excited when you handed him the check?
Absolutely. Wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think we all would.
Okay, can you share a specific example of how the foundation has made a positive impact to the science community?
Again, a wonderfully broad question, and I would be scratching for words if I tried to come up with something that would be specific, because the foundation is as broad as the SEG itself. And that means that it has lots of tentacles. It's more than an octopus. An octopus is only 8, right? By the way, a starfish, how many is in a starfish?
5?
That's right. And then there's 6, and then there's spiders are 6. But anyway, here's the point. The point is that the SEG and the SEG Foundation, the foundation sits with the SEG, and the SEG has tentacles far higher than 8, certainly. A lot of different areas, and the foundation, their goal is to cooperate and provide the vehicle for helping make it happen in all the areas that the SEG is involved in.
And what are your hopes for the future of the foundation?
When you get married, if you get married, you have faith in the future. If you go plant a tree, you have faith in the future. If you decide, hey, I'm going to go get a college education, or maybe your parents have beat on you for the last 5 or 6 years, son, daughter, you're going to go to university. For whatever reason, if you invest that time, you go to college, you're investing in the future. The SEG and the SEG Foundation is always, has been, and will continue to be, into the future, an investment in the future. So you have to have faith. You have to believe in the importance and the validity of what's being done today, and the ethics. Let's not forget ethics. Let's put it all together and then have faith in the future that the people that are going to carry the ball in the future, no matter what the economic situation is, let's not forget that the roots of the SEG is in the oil and gas industry. Is that going to be in 20 years from now? I don't know. 40 years from now? I haven't got a clue. I do know that the roots of the SEG are in a commodity, just like the coffee is an industry. It goes up and it goes down. And so I have faith that the people that are going to be involved with this professional field of applied geophysics, they're going to do a good job, and they'll be prepared to help and assist those that love applied geophysics.
And the last question, for someone that's considering becoming involved, what would you say?
Well, there's a variety of ways to say. You could just send them your PIN number. You could send them your credit card. And I would start that way. But I wouldn't leave it at that. I'd say just make a mental vow for yourself. Some people are highly disciplined, and other people are just carefree, and they just, whatever happens to me, it was a wonderful opportunity or was not appropriate, and it's something I'm not going to do. But I would strongly recommend for everybody, no matter what your background is, I strongly urge, make a promise to yourself that within 6 months, You're going to contact the SEG, and you're going to find out, are there any opportunities to help out a little bit. You'll never be sorry, I guarantee you. No, I guarantee.
That was great. Thank you.
I had a date with a beautiful woman one time, many years ago, over 50 years ago. And this beautiful woman, I discovered after many, many years how important that first date was. And I learned a great deal about this person, but I also learned how important it was for her for that first date. And what I would like to add is that there is another little piece here, and that is I had no idea about the depth of understanding and the importance of SEG was to the world. That for societies all around the world, it helps us make a better life. I had no idea. Just in exactly the same way, I had no idea how important it was for that first date. Thank you.